War is not just about battles. Therefore, in this episode, you will see the work of the Ukrainian sappers and engineering troops. You will learn how to build defensive fortifications, trenches, dugouts, minefields, as well as what surprise mines the enemy leave. Welcome back to the Backstage of War. The Engineering Support Group of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade is a unit aimed at providing support to the troops. Engineering reconnaissance is the first to arrive at the site, determining the quality and quantity of engineering work to be done. This is planning for future positions. The group also determines the passability of roads, their quantity and quality. We usually interact with battalion commanders. They formulate a request for us. For example, to construction of dugouts, trench communications. We process this request, put it in the queue, and fulfill it. When we have now received such a powerful combat engineering tractor, it performs engineering work, namely digging out of caponiers for military equipment. It can dig trenches for infantry shelter and dugouts. We are now on the work site. Our task here is to connect about 3 kilometers of trenches with a trench line. To equip all these places with trenches, combat firing positions, and dugouts for personnel. At first, earthworks are carried out. Then the second and third stage is when the positions are prepared with timber, equipped with lumber and dugouts for personnel. The last stage is when the position is equipped with engineering terms, when minefields or non-explosive obstacles, such as igazas or simply put, razor mesh, are placed in front of the position. You can see an old trench. It's probably been here since 2014. Now we are renovating it, strengthening it, and equipping it for a defense line. Is the recording still going on? Yes. You're filming everything? They'll be filming until the evening, so you don't get lazy. Who's lazy? Look how much I've already dug up. We are not only preparing a trench defense line, but also building separate dugouts. The first layer of wood is laid out, covered with earth, a film is laid, then a second layer, then the earth again, and the third layer. All the trees are nailed together with staples, which makes it impossible for them to separate if a shell hits. The entrance to the dugout is equipped with a wooden staircase to prevent the ground from crumbling and from make it comfortable to go up and down. This is a very important factor, as the speed of getting out of the dugout and the speed of getting down into the dugout often saves soldiers' lives. The ceilings in the dugouts are quite high, which makes it comfortable for the personnel to stay here. So far as we can see, the inside of the dugout is a creative mess. This is a pipe that will be connected to the stove, which will be located here. The next stage of equipping the dugout is to create a floor. This is a plank flooring. It has already started to be made. Also along the walls, we will make board bunks, i.e. beds for our soldiers for their rest. In principle, up to a platoon can be located here in this dugout. Now we will install a fortification structure called KVS-U. This shelter has 6 beds and an emergency exit, which is very important. The structure can withstand a 152 caliber shell hit. As for the trench connections, for example, in winter, when the temperature was minus 15 degrees, it was simply impossible to dig. Shovels would bend and crust would break. So we used to drill holes in the ground with rotary drills, put explosive charges, TNT, etc. in them, and then detonate them in a controlled manner. Then we would use shovels to throw away the earth and thus make trenches. First waist deep, then full length. We drilled even deeper and blew it up again with explosives. Regarding the peculiarities of the Russians' positions, lately they have been using a tactic where each individual fighter tears off a so-called foxhole. He hides in this hole, but it is not connected to the other foxholes by any trench connections. The difficulty is that we have to clean each of these holes separately. However, we have developed a system to counteract this. We are actively using drones, from which our operators drop grenades into such foxholes. It is very effective because if a grenade or VOG hits it, and the enemy is there, he has nowhere to go because there is no emergency exit. On the field, we can lay a TM62 mine on the ground, just on the surface of the soil, when we need to create a minefield very quickly. But we mainly dig in the mines so the enemy cannot see them. To do this, we carefully remove 5 centimeters of soil from the top. This piece of earth is removed, and then when the mine is laid, it is covered back up to mask the mine. This is also an engineer barrier. It is anti-tank, called Dragon's Teeth. They're installed at the ground at an angle. Here, in this place, we use concrete railway sleepers. Wooden or metal sleepers can also be used in the same way. The main thing is that they should be strong, with a large diameter, so that when a tank runs over them, it cannot pass. The tank rests its weight on the sleeper, and it goes even further into the ground. So the tank is lifted and cannot move further. We are currently installing a OZM-72 mine. This is the fragmentation anti-personnel mine that has a 25-meter radius of destruction and a 360-degree radius. That is why we immediately install and camouflage it near the barbed wire mesh, so that when the Russian infantry starts to get caught in it, this mine will work for sure and destroy the enemy as efficiently as possible. Now the sapper is masking the remote detonation wire, the wire from the power grid to our mine, so that it does not fail during a possible enemy shelling. Now the soldiers are installing a non-explosive engineering barrier, a razor mesh, or so-called igoza. It's installed in 2, 3, 4 rows. It is advisable to use it as high and as wide as possible. The stormtroopers carry out their work, provide fire cover, and then sappers move in to survey the area, clear it of mines, and if necessary, carry out controlled explosions. Gentle, guys. It's done. Tighten it more. Is that okay? All right, let's go to work, boys. Yeah, let's go. Where are your tools? We have found several anti-tank mines on the road, arranged in a staggered pattern. Now we're going to pull the mines, but you have to be careful, because the enemies like to put surprise mines under the anti-tank mines. In this case, we had nothing additional detected. We were able to safely remove the TM62 mine. Here's a vivid example of why you can't touch a mine, why you can't get close to it, kick it, somehow take it in your hands, etc. Even if you put up the minefield yourself, you don't know if the enemy was on it and what surprise they might have left in your minefield. Here is the result of the explosion of mine TM62. It's 7.5 kilograms of TNT, plus a surprise mine that was under it. We created know-how and used it actively. Now our enemies have adopted a lot of our experience and are using it against us. That is, war teaches both sides. If you were interested in today's episode and would like me to continue doing episodes like this next, then let me know by hitting the like button and leaving a comment. You can support the author by the details in the description. Thank you.